Okay, since we're at home, all at home during this time, interestingly enough, if you choose to be, I want to do a video about some of the things I do with leftovers, that sort of thing. If you'll notice this here, this is green onion. When I chop the tops off, when I buy it from the store, I plant the bottoms, and I always have fresh green onion to come out and cut. Now these other ones, I don't know if I've planted larger onion or if my green onions have become leeks. But here's another green onion plant. That's the most recent one I planted. I planted the bottoms. So I can always just come out and trim green onion from my leftover bottom pieces. These are Easter lilies that are from my wedding in 1998. The plants come up every year producing Easter lilies, so the plants lasted longer than the marriage did. How about that? Moving on, I had some floppy carrots. I've planted some other onion and stuff in here. I don't know when that's going to come up, but you'll notice this is carrots. This is a floppy carrot. It was all floppy. I just planted it. This is just the top of a carrot. I'll show you. Look, I planted just the top. Just planted it in the ground. Look, it started sprouting because it didn't have any. It looked like this when I started. What I'm saying is, these plants, instead of wasting them, you can just stick them out in your yard if you've got one. I'm not sure what this is. I know I planted a red onion, but that doesn't look like onion. That looks like something else. Who knows? I plant all kind of stuff. This plant never could make it above 10 inches or so. It's taller than me now. It's coming back from every year. It looks like it's dead, these pieces do, but you'll notice they end up budding out again. These dead looking branches produces a really pretty flower. If this was from my dad's funeral, someone gave this, and it never grew. It was planted around the front toward the lake, but it never grew until I moved it here and kept putting hot sauce around it. I mentioned that in my camping videos. But you can buy this cheap $1.98. This is 34 ounces of hot sauce. So if you're out in the country like we are, you just put some hot sauce around whatever plants you don't want the deer to eat. And for $1.98, you're not using any chemicals or anything like that. We've had to do it with this bed. Just got it planted. And those are, the deer haven't been messing with this. I don't know why, but I haven't had the hot sauce it too much, but pretty much everything we've put in there before, the deer, like impatiens and what have you, the deer will tear it up. These are shamrocks that my grandmother had from one plant, my grandmother on my mother's side, and we just keep growing shamrocks. I'll show you some of those wild in the yard here in a minute. Oh, and these, that's a gardenia, looking pretty scraggly, but it has mothered. The big, huge one you see there's the biggest gardenia I've ever seen. And this one right here, that's a gardenia. That's a one of those Japanese cherry trees. It's in bloom right now. I need to feed the birds. Had a flat on my car yesterday when I was at Lowe's, and the place that I bought the tires from has closed their automotive center, so I had to plug it myself. I need to put my other back on. This is a miniature orange tree. When I was a little boy, my grandmother on my father's side had this growing in a pot in their living room. Now, this miniature orange tree never would produce oranges. My mom planted it years ago. I moved back here in 2013. And it wasn't much taller than that shed right there. Okay, you can see now. It's very tall, and there's oranges so far up there you can never get to them. It has busted out with some oranges. It's still producing. They come in about November. You start seeing buds. It smells beautiful. But what I did was, I guess I gave the tree some attention, some love, whatever you want to say. But you notice at the base of the tree, I started putting orange peelings from the citrus that we would eat. After I did that, this thing took off. All of the new growth basically starts right there. And it shot all that up and produced oranges after I gave it orange peels. It's like the pH of the soil became just right after feeding it some of what it was. But the deer don't mess with this, the birds don't mess with this. They're miniature oranges. They smell wonderful, but they're sour, kind of like a lemon. They're not bad to eat. I guess you could make an orangeade with them, but they're really nice. I never would have thought something like this would grow here. Look at that, I've even got blossoms still. So this thing's been constantly producing since November. Still going. What else? Oh yeah, I will show you the shamrocks. So it's interesting, all these plants that are around. I kind of got a story with the plants in the yard. Trying to get a garden growing now. Let's see. I had a shamrock in there. Yeah, it's still in there. Somehow, some of the shamrock buds, they got kind of a bulby looking root thing. There's some in there. And there's some in here that got dropped from potting or something. And they've thrived. No matter what, they've just thrived. They're kind of a sour grass to chew on. I used to chew on something called sour grass when I was a kid. We've also got some really big aloe plants growing right here in Georgia. Those were planted for sunburn. If you come up to the lake and got sunburned, you'd come break off a piece of aloe and rub it on yourself. So, got that. What else? I've got the greenhouse going with a bunch of seeds right now. Getting ready to plant a garden. Tiller is broken. I was working on that. Here I have, this is our outdoor kitchen. Here I have potatoes from the house that were getting all growy, you know, had they bud out and everything. All these big plants, those are potatoes. I don't have to do anything to these. This is a old mulch pile. I just plant the potatoes in it, and as long as the mice or whatever will stay out of it, I'll have potatoes to harvest. Right here, very little work involved in doing those. You can grow potatoes in a 5-gallon bucket. There's videos on YouTube on how to do it. Potatoes are one of the easiest things and the highest yield vegetable that you can grow at home. Really easy, really, really, really easy. So I'll have potatoes soon. I'll be planting some more floppy carrots. If I go through my carrots and find more floppy ones, I'll have a whole garden up before long when I get my tiller back. But yeah, it's kind of nice out here. I've got a huge project with cleaning out this barn. My dad left lots of stuff in there, and I don't really have much use for it. But I'm gonna go feed the birds and end this video. So it's just an idea. Cheap hot sauce at Walmart, $1.98. Keeps all the animals off of your food. That's why I use it when I'm camping. I'm going to keep using it while I camp to see if it keeps critters away from me. So far, so good. May just be a coincidence, but I know it keeps deer and animals away from the plants at home because I have proven it. And I just mowed the other day. It looks like I need to mow again. Anyway, this is life at the lake. You know, a couple of, those were great blue heron pair that live in the trees over there. See you later. Bye.